Great evening, everyone, and welcome to Moments of Motivation with Michelle. I am so excited to have you with me tonight. And I also want to remind you, don't forget to like, tag, and share this broadcast with your family members and friends. We have some special guests tonight, and I most definitely would like to introduce them to you. Woo! Also, don't forget to run on over to YouTube, to my YouTube channel, Moments of Motivation with Michelle, and like and subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to be able to meet some wonderful people who are sharing some great resources for us. Today, we have with us live and in person Mr. and Mrs. Quinton Ponter. Oh, wait a minute. Did I say that right?
Pointer.
Pointer, like
Yes, ma'am.
pointing your finger.
Yes, ma'am.
Pointer. He is a retired professional football player and she's an entrepreneur. She is in the field of education and also an entrepreneur. They are parents of one amazing young man, and I'm sure that while we talk tonight, they'll be more than glad to share more about him with us. Everyone, please, Facebook, YouTube, and whoever else is watching, help me welcome Quinton and Desarae Ponter. Pointer, hello.
How you doing?
Just messing y'all name all up.
It's all good.
You made it sound fancy.
Yeah,
I made it sound fancy.
Yeah.
the accent.
I've had you talk about my accent, Quentin.
Yeah. We
Quentin,
both got it.
my youngest son name is Quinton, and of course we call him Quinton for short.
Okay.
And when I had him, my doctor said, "Oh my God!" I was like, "What?" He said, "He ain't gonna quit, Quinton," and God knows he have not quit yet.
There you go.
That's good.
Yeah. So I would like to thank you all for accepting the invitation to join me tonight and share just a few moments with me. I want you guys to know that I'm excited, as I've already shared with you, and I have watched you guys from afar. And that's what made me want to invite you guys to be on here, because I see some amazing things that you are doing, what you guys have accomplished at such a young age. I mean, I'm like 40 something, almost about to be 50. And just seeing what you guys have done is so amazing to me. And a lot of times I do go on to Desirae's page and I see what she's doing. I go back and catch her replays. She is a natural. And Quint, you seem to be the quiet one. Is that right?
I am the quiet one. I got that rap a little bit.
You got that right a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So welcome you guys. How y'all doing tonight?
We're hanging in there. We're doing the best we can. Listen, we're trying to recover from a wedding we went to last night. Shout out to my friend and sorority sister, Ashley, now Ashley Drain, but Ashley Matthews. We're still trying to recover from this wedding last night.
So what sorority are you in?
Alpha Kappa Alpha, the first and the finest. Okay?
Come on here, girl. Go ahead and give a shout out to your sorority.
Don't get us started.
What did he say?
He
I
said,
said, don't get us started.
Don't get us started.
Nah.
My goodness. What school did you go to, Desarae?
I graduated from UNLV
Okay. So
for my
tell us,
bachelor's and master's.
okay, you do. And Quentin, did you go to the same school?
Yes, ma'am. UNLV, that's where we met.
So I noticed you guys know that I'm going to ask you guys about that story. How did you all meet? How long ago did you meet?
It depends on. You're gonna see his story and then you're gonna see my story. Okay.
So we're gonna let Quentin go first tonight.
I think the how we met part is similar. The how we kind of got together is two completely different stories.
Okay.
But like I said, we met at UNLV. We both went to UNLV. I'm originally from Florida. So when I got here on campus, I got here on a football scholarship at UNLV. And she was already here. She ran cross country and track.
Okay.
And how we ended up meeting was through a mutual friend. Her friend, like I said, I'm from Florida, so I came a long way all the way to UNLV, all the way to the other side. So there were three guys that were from Florida. So I naturally gravitated toward them. That's actually from the same area I'm from in Florida. So I gravitated towards those guys. And one of the guys' girlfriend was her best friend.
Okay.
So we met kind of that way. It was a weird kind of story type of night how we met, but that's how it initially happened with us meeting.
Your wedding pictures are so absolutely beautiful. They're amazing. just seeing the way that y'all look in one another's eyes and how you hold one another, embrace one another. It's just so amazing. And it's magnetic. I don't know if anyone else has said that to you. So it seems like you all have a beautiful love story. So again, thank you guys for joining me tonight. And I look forward to hearing more about you all. So with that being said, you said you met at the college. So what I want to know is who was the first one with the beam in the eye? Was it Quinton or was it Desarae? Who was serious about this thing?
It was me. It was me. So I told the mutual best friend that he was referring to, I just told her, I was like, I like him. And I didn't really know him. Okay. I just seen him, and I don't know how people feel about dreams, but I had like dreamt about him, not to sound weirdish or anything.
It's okay.
I had dreams like about it, and I was like, after I had that dream, I was like, I like him. I didn't know a thing about him, and he took me on the first date, and he thought he was gonna live the college life, and here we are, 14 years later.
14 years later. Wow. You guys you've been together 14 years. How long were you together before you got married?
We were together 7 years.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it took a while. She was impatiently waiting for that moment, but it came at about 7 years.
Were you too scared to ask Quinton?
Yeah, it was I think it was a maturity thing. I think like as a young kid, you grow around a certain atmosphere, and I always said like I wouldn't get married type of deal. I'm like, I'm about to go to college and party and do all this type of stuff, trying to live my dream and be, this wild kid in college. But as soon as I got to campus, I was there in January, February. I think we started talking in February. And
wow.
We've been together since. So everything I thought it was gonna be wasn't. God sent me this one, and we've been together since.
Wow, that is so amazing.
Yeah.
So Desiree, you had this amazing dream. Did you share that dream with him?
I did, not initially. Not initially, of course. I probably would have scared him away.
Mm-hmm.
But I had multiple dreams, and it was just confirmation for me. And so years down the road, I shared it with him, and in fact, it was crazy because as we got closer and grew stronger in our relationship, and the conversation came about marriage before the engagement happened, I had a dream about that as well. And it was pretty vivid. And I shared that story with him. And what I love about our engagement photo is when he proposed to me, it was a particular box. He went and purchased that exact thing. So what I had saw in that dream actually happened the day he proposed, and we recreated that with the engagement photos.
So we can say to our audience that dreams do come true. They do come true as long as you believe in them, trust and have that faith in God or whoever your higher power is. Then things are going to work out in your favor. So Quinton, you had other things on your mind. Had something.
It was very short lived. So it was very short lived. Once I met her, that was all out the door. So I was all focused on her. So it was all.
So let me ask you, how old are the two of you?
I'm 34.
Wow.
And I'm 32.
His birthday's this Friday, so happy
birthday, Quinton.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
You have something special planned for your birthday?
I do not. Do I have something planned?
You shall see. I don't know.
Yeah,
She's always pulling rabbits out of her hats. I be seeing them on Facebook.
I'm just showing up and see what's going on.
That's a wonderful thing. If I was in your town, I would come and babysit for you.
Oh, thank you. You have a good time with that little guy.
So there are many young couples such as yourselves who face issues and stumbling blocks along the way as it relates to relationships. So what words of encouragement after 14 years, what are some words of encouragement that you all would like to share to help them, through their challenging times or whatever hiccups their relationship may be going through?
I want to take that one. I think the biggest thing is just trust, and being on the same page. I think if you both, and it's something we come in full circle and trying to come together on, and learning our end goal and goals in life. And if we both, no matter how we get there, as long as we both have the same goals and where we're trying to go and what we want to do and what we want to provide for our son and our family, I think it will always be successful. And you just got to work at it with your spouse. And
That's your take.
my take on it.
Sounds good.
So it's I don't like to call it a job, but with anything in life, if you want to get better at something, you have to work at it.
Okay.
Like you doing an interview, you have to keep doing interviews. Eventually, you'll be great at what you do.
That's right.
It's just like that with working with your spouse. You got to work at it. It's little things you learn, ins and outs of what she don't like, what she do like, and you kind of build your relationship and bond like that.
All right, Desarae.
I'll say a couple of things. The first thing I'll say is you have to be serious about it, and you have to be intentional about the relationship. Both of our parents, I will say, really kept pushing us as we went along the way. They would say, you can't be playing house, you can't be shacking up. Of course, times are different now, Right. So the way I was brought up was very much from a Christian background, and I had that good girl image, but that was true and authentic for me. So to be intentional about the relationship, and you got to be serious. If you're going to be in a relationship with this person, this is who you're going to be with, and not hopping around to all these different folks. Be serious about it. And then communication, like he said. But on top of that, I think it's relevant for when you're dating, but also in marriage, is to try to identify the different ways of love, the different communication styles of love, and feed off of that. Because how he shows his love is different how I show my love. Some people want words of affirmation. Some people want gifts. Some people want time. And sometimes, in a relationship, a person's needs can't be met, but maybe they think they're doing good, right? But you got to learn what is your significance of this style of love. And I think communication is the most important one, though.
That's amazing. So like as you were saying, you got to know your love language. What do you speak? Somebody else's maybe words of affirmation, somebody maybe quality time, somebody maybe gifts. And once you find that balance, then things should be able to work out. If not, you should be able to communicate and work it out together. So that's really good. And thank you guys for sharing that. I see that you guys a bundle of joy, as we said a few years ago. How old is he now?
Caden is 2 now.
Oh, Quinton, that's a beautiful name.
Yeah.
Who named him Quinton?
I think we both did.
Like, I kind of came up with the name, but on accident.
Okay.
And once I said it, she kind of loved it because I was trying to, what's the guy? Cannon, I think it's the name.
Oh.
It's a guy off of Power.
Okay.
I don't know if you watch the show, but it's a show called Power, and it's 50 Cent character. And for some reason, I thought his name was Caden, but it's Cannon. And I said it, and she liked it, and it kind of just went from there.
Yeah, that's a beautiful name. So Quinton, how was when you found out that you was about to be a father? What was that experience like for you?
It was very exciting. I was very excited. I always wanted to be a father. For some reason, I wanted to be a young father.
Mm-hmm.
But everything's on God's time.
That's right.
But I was very excited once I found out we was actually trying. So it was very exciting when she told me she was pregnant.
Good. So Desarae, there are a lot of women who are trying and have not been successful. There are a lot of young women I see on Facebook who put down, that they've had, several miscarriages. And then there's some who've had the miscarriages and then all of a sudden a miracle happens and they're able to give birth. What kind of words of encouragement would you like to share with those mothers or those wanting or desiring or praying to be mothers?
Yeah, I would say what Quinton said is a great way to say it, is that You basically need to trust God, because sometimes it does not happen the way you think it's going to.
Right.
I have quite a few friends and coworkers where we've had that expectation. Well, they had that expectation that it's going to happen like this, and that's not the journey for everyone. So I would say just to relax, take care of your body. Stress, no matter what form of stress it is, that's not going to do you any good. Just relax, have faith, and go along the process. And God will do it in His time. It'll happen. You may not understand, that it doesn't happen right when you want it, but when it's supposed to happen, it'll happen. Just stay encouraged.
Right. Thank you so much, Desarae. So, Quinton, as we said a few minutes ago, to those of you who are joining in, Quinton Pointer, who is Desirae's husband, the father of what's his name again?
Caden. Yes, ma'am.
Quinton is a retired professional football player. And we want to hear a little bit about your story, Quinton. How long did you play, and how did it come about with you becoming a professional football player?
Professionally, how long did I play?
Yeah.
Okay. Professionally, I played, let me see, 12. I played 4 years in the NFL, and then I played a year in Canada and a year in Arena Football League. So altogether 5 or 6 years professionally.
And who were some of the professional teams you played with?
Professional teams I played, I was undrafted, and I played for the St. Louis Rams.
Okay.
Now known as LA Rams. And I also played for Tampa Bay, and I played for Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, wow. Did you get to play with Ray Lewis?
Ray Lewis had just left right before I got there.
Man, you didn't get to meet him. Did you get to meet Danielle Ellerby? That was you probably came in right behind him as well.
Yeah, right behind him.
Yeah, because Danielle is my oldest son's age. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just missed him too. But I didn't meet him playing, but I got Ray Lewis always come around the facility, and I got to meet him. He came back, and I forgot. It was something that was happening. Maybe it was the Ferguson thing or something in Baltimore had just happened, and it was a big deal, and we had to do like a little, going to town. He came out and kind of led that march, so I got to meet him. Very, very good guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Quinton, who were some of your role models as you were coming up? Because as we were sharing before we got on screen, it's a long process from Pee Wee League football to becoming a professional football player. Who were some of your role models, and what were some of the words of encouragement they gave you along the way to keep you focused?
Yeah, growing up, I didn't like. My uncle played football when I was a little kid. I used to watch my uncle play football, and he played for like Pop Warner team out there in Fort Myers. And like, I used to love going to his games because as a young kid, for some reason, my mom didn't let me play like Pop Warner. So I used to have this admire him and play. So I grew up watching him. And then like professional players I looked at, there was like Barry Sanders and Deion Sanders. So those were my guys. I always liked watching them. Like my nickname growing up was Lil Barry. So it kind of stuck to me. And then once I got to college, a guy I really admired was my coaches, a couple of my coaches. Mr. JD Williams was one. He played professionally in the NFL for a couple of years, like 7 or 8 years. And he kind of taught me the game. And, I admired him. He played football, then went on to coaching, kind of a career that I wanted to kind of follow. He played the same position, so that's one of the people I looked up to as I, got into my football career.
So, what do you believe some of the challenges the professional footballs face today, especially with this COVID-19 thing going on?
It presents a lot of challenges for everybody. First of all, it's a very demanding league. You got to understand that there's a lot of people that, desire to play the game of football. And as we're told, when you come up, it's the 1% of they're like, once you get there, you're a 1%er pretty much. There's millions of people trying to play this game, and you got to this level that others are trying to get to that probably will never get there.
Right.
So you got to understand that it's 1%er, and once you're in the 1%er club, that once you're there, there's people there fighting for jobs, and there's people coming up behind you fighting for jobs. So it's the turnover is always going to be crazy. So you just got to be focused. And I always tell guys, a lot of people can run, jump, all that type of stuff, big, fast. The biggest part once you get professional is mental. It's a mental game, learning, taking care of your body, being able to know the game at a higher level is what's going to keep you there.
Awesome. So then with the COVID, do you know how they're doing with the COVID-19? Because I saw where there were a couple of times the games had to be canceled. What are they doing to protect the football players?
Yeah, I don't have no idea how. Like I said, I retired from NFL in 15 or 16.
Okay.
So it's been a while since I played, but I can probably understand if it's been like difficult time because it's hard. You're probably in a bubble. You can't do anything. You got guys, you got to go straight home from the facility. Guys are used to going out, going to restaurants. Like with the NFL, when I was there, you have days where you go meet up with your guys. You go out to dinner. You always have big group activities besides being on the football field. And those guys, I don't believe they even had even with their meetings, they had to do live meetings over Skype type of deal. So they didn't have really the interaction that you would normally have. So I must imagine that it was difficult for them in that aspect also, let alone with getting COVID and playing in front of nobody. So it must have been a weird atmosphere.
And not imagine is playing in front of those screens. I'm like, oh. Yeah. But I guess they have all the noise and stuff going on that makes it seem like it's realistic.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think that's piped in for the fans. I don't think they actually hear that on the field, you know what I mean? So it's just like a practice almost for them, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. So did you have any major accomplishments or anything while playing football?
Major accomplishments?
Yeah.
Just getting there was my major accomplishment.
You know what? I'm glad that you said it because I have a cousin who played professional ball. And he played professional ball. He was great at what he did. Some things happened. He was not able to continue to play. And I was like, hey, you need to write your story. People need to hear about your story. And he's like, well, I didn't play that long. I said, but you made it. And you just answered that question. You said there was only 1% of people who are able to make it. So you have a lot of families who have children playing football, baseball, softball, volleyball, whatever it may be. And they're pushing them to become a professional player. And it's, so if you don't play professional football, you don't make it, then you got to have some kind of backup. Definitely.
And that would be a big thing. I would like to advise and stress to the younger athletes out there to, have not necessarily a backup plan, but have something else. Football is, like they say, the average length of a football player is 2.5 years.
But can you repeat that?
The average length of a football player career is about 2.5 years.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so once you get there, the average is 2.5. So there's a lot of people falling short of that, 2.5 to make the average. Because you have guys who have longer careers, like 10 years. Only the 1% of the 1% have those type of careers. But you have to be able to have something else that you want to do. Because depending on how old you are, it's going to be 3 or 4 years, 5 years, if you're blessed, or more in your 20s that you're playing this game. So you got 30s, 40s, 50s, all these other years that you need to figure out what you want to do. And I would advise kids, no matter the sport, to start looking into that earlier.
That's good.
Try to figure out what you want to do.
That's good. Wow, I like that motivation there. So got to have a backup, encourage them to fall into those other gifts and talents that they have as well. Look at Mike Jordan, my goodness, selling cars and restaurants and some of everything.
There you go.
He is the 1%. So, Desarae, how was it being married to a professional football player?
It was interesting. It was a lot of emotions. First, it's nerve-wracking for him. When they say player down on the field, I'm like, who, what player? Is it mine? You don't want anybody to get hurt.
Right.
But it's nerve-wracking because of that. It was emotional because we weren't married at the time, so we're going back and forth. It was a long distance relationship, so you had your challenges with that. Then you have people, those that did know, people trying to pop up that don't like you, or just showing up because they know that you got your husband, or he was my husband at the time, but they know that Quint was in the league. So people just want to befriend you, and it's not true and authentic, just trying to get around you so they can get exposed to whatever connections they thought I had. But it was such a great experience to support him through it, but it was definitely like an emotional roller coaster for sure.
So how did you face those challenges? You said it was very challenging. The long distance in the relationship, those opportunists and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was some challenging moments because I worked full time. I was in graduate school, so that was full time. So whenever an opportunity came up with him, I would go to work, I would go to school, and then when it was over with, I'll hop on the plane, go fly to St. Louis, or if he had something, I drove to AZ, that was nothing. Just go there and fly. But on the working basis, I just tried to just focus on our relationship and not get too much into the petty stuff, because for me, like, people always know about his story, but they don't think about the significant other stuff. And it was tough. Like, there were times when I was at work and people talked about me like, oh, you just hear this, and they think, she thinks she's better than people. I've never said anything. In fact, most of the people on our timeline don't even know. Well, his people know, but like people who follow me, they didn't even know. This is probably the first time they're hearing things like that. So it was very challenging, but at the same time, I enjoy it.
I love it. And then you still had your dream. You still had the hope and all of that stuff to hold on to. So no matter what challenges you faced, you already were prepared for the outcome. And that
Yep.
absolutely love. I think that is so amazing. So what you're saying, they have the Quentin story. They're not the story of, Desiree Pointer. So I do want to hear about you, what it is that you do. I hear about you, you have your master's degree. I know that you're an entrepreneur, and like I said, I follow you on Facebook, and it's absolutely amazing seeing your transformation right before the screen, and you're very confident. So, where does that come from? Where does that confidence come from?
I think it was something that was always in me. It just took some maturity and faith. And sometimes when life happens, you just gotta pick up and just start going and be confidently wrong. Be confident and look a little cray, whatever it is. You got to do what you got to do.
Confidently wrong. I love it. I love it. So Desiree, tell our viewing audience, what is it that Desarae Pointer does?
Yeah, so I'm a full-time educator. I work in the field of higher education. So I work at the community college. I started off at the university where we graduated and stayed there to start my professional journey. So now I work at the community college, which is one of the largest colleges in the nation. So I help traditional students, high school students, and because of COVID right now, people have been displaced from their work. They're coming back to school. So I help them identify, or getting a notification here. I help them identify a career path and a degree pathway. So I'm helping them get their associate's degree certificate and then transfer over to the four-year institution, or to get into a trade, or to get into a career. So we wear many hats, but I am an academic advisor at the college. That's what I do for a career.
So then what is that part-time thing you do over there that I see all that passion and
So part-time, my side hustle is I'm an independent consultant for a company named Unique. So I help women with skincare and also with makeup.
And I remember finding out about Unique, and there's a backstory behind that. And I would love for you to be able to share that with our audience tonight.
Yeah, so Unique was founded by a brother and sister duo, the Maxfields, and they have a mission. The mission is to uplift, empower, and validate. And it's for all women of all ages, ethnicities, and background. But we have a haven And so anytime you purchase makeup from this company, a percentage of those funds goes to the Haven. And that's to help women who have endured and overcome childhood sexual abuse. So although that's not my story or experience, that was part of the reason that made me join that particular company, because there's all types of makeup companies out there, but I'd never heard of one that had a mission and had that foundation. So that's what made me connect with them.
Awesome. So, if there is someone who is interested in purchasing your product, I would like for you to share that with them, as well as let them know the days and the times that you're available online, so
Mm-hmm.
they can tap into what you have and what you're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you want to connect, you can find me on my business page here on Facebook, which is at Just Des, or just type in Desarae Pointer and you can find me. I go live pretty much every day. um, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays in particular, that's where I really focus on makeup. And then I could always give you my link, but I like to connect with folks first, because I don't want to give you the link and then you get this makeup and someone like, child, that color didn't match me. That's because you didn't talk to me. We need to talk. So I can share the link and we can put it in there. But I always like to have a conversation so we can get to know one another and what's best for the individual.
Okay. And the makeup is pretty good. I love it. It's very natural. And like she said, the backstory behind the makeup, if you don't do anything but buy some lipstick, some eyeshadow, lip gloss, you always having nice bundles. You want to talk about that, because that's a great opportunity for you to get a lot of product as well as help the organization.
Absolutely. Yeah. So each month there's a different focus. So we can try to save some coins for you. This month we're focusing on lip gloss, just to get that springtime glow, right? Lip gloss, eyeshadow, mascara, and blush. I got a little goodie box right here I got to open up. We'll do that afterwards. You can catch me later and I'll show you that. But there's always some type of deal. And the ultimate deal that they have is this beauty box. So you can use the beauty box to be like myself, independent consultant, or you could just be what we call a kidnapper and just get the kit, because it's seriously high quality makeup, $400 value, and you get it just for $99. So it's an amazing deal. You could just get the box and run. But as you said, there's always some type of bundle or discount. We just got to talk and find out what it is that you're looking for.
So is that $99 to join, or is that $99 for that bundle you're talking about?
Yeah. So if you do it, you can do it to join, but there's always individuals who just want, I'm not trying to go live on Facebook. I just want the makeup.
Right.
So if you just want the makeup, you can just get the kit and that's it. You're not obligated to put yourself in the forefront like I do.
Okay. And so now, Desarae, we also have some young women, especially ones that reach out to me a lot on Facebook in my inbox, and they are interested in starting a business. But because of the challenges that come with starting a business, what would you encourage them to do? What are some of your words of encouragement for them?
I think that you just have to lean in and you have to go for it. This wasn't something that I planned on or thought about years in advance. It just kind of happened. And like I said, life happened. A lot of people are displaced from work right now because of COVID. A lot of people who have had their income reduced because of furloughs and budget cuts as a result of the pandemic. So you don't have a choice but to hustle and get the work. Or perhaps, your finances haven't been impacted, but you want more for yourself. I think direct sales, network marketing, it could have a bad name depending on, how people go about the business. But if you do it the right way and you're being true and authentic, I think it's an excellent way to get started, because you don't have to worry about shipping costs and inventory and all that stuff. The company does it for you. But if you want to start a business, you need to first do the research to find out what is the best thing for you, and then hit the ground running. And I think, like I said, being an independent consultant is a great way to get started, because if you just jump right into a small business, I don't know the exact stats, but small businesses, they don't last too long. So you can really transition into a successful business by starting small and then working your way up. You just gotta do it. Be scared, but do it anyway.
Do it anyway. And it's so amazing how with COVID-19, a lot of the independent marketing and stuff has really been just out there. So if you want to sell t-shirts, jewelry, makeup, do hair, eyelashes, whatever it is that you want to do, the sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely. So
don't make
many people have burst out into their, like, we have one friend, she sells cakes now. Like, I'm talking about those wedding cakes. She had no idea she had that gift, but because of the pandemic, that came out. Like you said, so many people are creating new business opportunities. It's wonderful.
Okay. So Quentin, are you involved in anything with football now in your community? Any leagues, minor league?
Not currently. I coached at one of the local high schools out here in Vegas, the Grizzlies. Unfortunately, because of COVID, they had to shut everything down, and they canceled the fall sport. So I think they're getting back. I think they canceled it for the year. I don't know exactly, but I did coach at high school for 2 years before COVID hit, and that was kind of one of my things I love to do, just to get around the kids and coach and try to mentor them a little bit, try to give them a little bit of my knowledge, because it's always good hearing from somebody that been where you're trying to go. So I try to pour back into them a little bit.
And your individual one-on-ones too.
One-on-ones.
Mm-hmm. Like how that young guy hit you up and you just went to the park to train with him.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. But I have a guy here I train with. His name is Quinton Johnson. He's a trainer. And anytime he trained kids all the time, he asked me to come out, and I definitely go out there without hesitation just to, give back to the kids. I love doing it. So I try to be.
Have you put the football in your son's hand yet?
I'm letting him. I put it in his hand, but I'm letting him be himself right now. I'm letting him go. I don't want them to fizzle out too soon from football, because a lot of people like put it on their kids early, and by the time they get to high school, they be
burnt out
type of deal. So I'm gonna give him a little bit of while till he really know what a football is.
Yeah, he don't know right now.
What do y'all see that he loves to do? I know he loves to make y'all laugh. He is so funny. And seeing him, in the kitchen trying to cook and all that stuff and help you, it is just so funny. So talk to us a little bit about him, and what are some of the things that y'all noticing that he's liking to do now or learning to do?
He loves everything pretty much. He like play. He want to play all the time. Let's go play. He likes coloring. Like he really loves learning. Like he got a little puzzle with ABCs and little matching puzzles that we put together. He'll always go grab them and come up to usually me or both of us to come to work with him. And like he have letters, he had the little letters, he'll put them in my face like this. I'm like, that's A, Katie. Yeah, A, So he loves learning. He's a great little kid, very active. So gotta keep up with him.
I do want to ask you this question, Desarae. It's a little bit away from family, football, makeup. I see that your mother is a singer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you also have that gift and talent?
No. No, I don't. I think I do when I'm in the shower and when I'm in the car, but no, ma'am, that's not my gift.
That's
not at all.
She can sing a little bit. She can sing a little bit. And when she was younger, like her whole family, her brothers and sisters and her mom can sing. But I don't think she exercised that gift all the time. So it's kind of
you don't want me
away.
They don't want me in the car.
but she definitely carry a note. Can't sing like a mama, but she can carry a note for sure.
Okay. So just leave you to the makeup and the tutorials and stuff.
Yeah, I help you plan an event or something, but I'm not the singer.
Okay. And I see your arms. So tell me, what's your workout regimen?
I'm out of shape. We were just talking about that, how we both want to try to get back in shape. No, I'm not even gonna fake the funk with you. I am out of shape, honey, completely. But we definitely want to start that back.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's been tough with the COVID and with that situation going to gyms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just got a membership at a gym. So hopefully start working back out on a consistent basis.
Okay. So tell me, what's next for the Pointers? What do y'all have planned next?
We just going with the flow, I think we definitely have things that we're working on but not really ready to come to the forefront. But hey, only God knows. I think big things. I'm just gonna go ahead and say big things on the way, but nothing that too concrete we're ready to share at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, if you're having dreams, I can say this one thing. One of your big dreams did come true. And that's that one man sitting next to you.
Thank you.
So amazing. And I would like to say to those of you who are viewing, Desarae shared with me that this is the first time, and I would like for you to continue to share that, Desarae, because I don't want to mess up what I
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no. So this was actually the first time that Quinton and I sat down and did a live talk about his professional career as an athlete. I don't think many even knew that he played because he's just so quiet and he's so humble. But this is the first time that we actually publicly talked about this. So thank you for inviting us and having this discussion tonight.
Well, I do thank you guys for joining, and it's been great learning more about you all and what you do. Like I said, I believe that you guys are two amazing young individuals. And again, you were 34 years old, been married for how many years?
I had to go run
For
upstairs
14
and go
years.
look at the sandbox. I'm like,
You've been together for 14 years.
yes, we've been together for 14 years.
And so you've been married around what, about 7 years or something like that?
6
years. 6 years.
Y'all are too funny to me.
Yeah. She always get it messed up.
Yes.
I think it'd be me because my memory be slipping sometimes, but it's her.
Yeah, it's definitely me.
Sometimes as well. Sometimes I have to write the stuff down to keep me from forgetting. But that's okay. Like I said, you guys are amazing. I love what you're doing. Thank you guys for chiming in and sharing words of encouragement with our audience. And before we log off, I want to know if there's anything else that you all would like to share.
Anything? Just thanks for having us on and letting us speak to your audience and interviews. I really enjoyed this time with you and spending it with my wife. So
thank you
for that.
And I would just say for everybody that's watching, just to stay encouraged. This past year, it's been more than a year now with the pandemic, has been challenging on so many levels, economically speaking, politically, personally. People have stuff going on in their life. So just to stay encouraged and just keep fighting a good fight. We thank you for even considering us. I'm definitely flattered that you thought of us. And you never know who's watching because I didn't know you were watching me. So thank you.
I've been watching you for
Thank you for considering us both. We had a great time with you.
Yes. And Desarae, please make sure that you share the information, your email or whatever it is for the audience, if they are interested in finding out more about Unique, and becoming
absolutely. Yeah, you can find me here on Facebook. So facebook.com/ it's Desarae Pointer, DESARAE Pointer, POINTER. On Instagram and TikTok, it's the @Des DEZ Pointer. And finally, I feel like this is a long infomercial now, but finally, if you wanted to go directly to the Unique website, it'll be uniqueproducts.com/ my name, Desarae Pointer. And you can just check out the website. Help yourself, but listen, if you're going into skincare or makeup, please talk to me first so we can get you right and get you tight.
Now, if you would take your box and just zoom it into the camera a little bit, so people would see how to spell Unique. There you go. Unique. Some amazing products, great story behind the product and what they stand for. And so, like she said, you just won't find a great opportunity to become a consultant, but also, being able to give back to the community. And that's a blessing right there all by itself. So I want to say again, thank you guys for joining me tonight for Moments of Motivation with Michelle and the Pointers, Quinton and Desarae. It has been absolutely amazing. I've enjoyed them, getting to know more about them. And if you want to know more about them, she's giving you the information to look her up. And once we get off, I'm sure she will go back on the live and tag her information in there.
Absolutely.
So again, I invite you guys to go to YouTube and like my channel, Moments of Motivation with Michelle. I invite you guys, listen, please come back tomorrow night. Tonight was special. We normally on Mondays, but this is special for these wonderful people sitting in front of us. Tomorrow we're going to have a lady from Virginia. Her name is Lisa Gibson, and this young lady was misdiagnosed with breast cancer, and the story is amazing. And her family faced a lot of trauma from this. And I want you guys to come back and hear her story of survival and how was she still having to deal and cope with this. I look forward to it. I think it's a great story. If you, all women and men, because all of us have breasts, we need to come back and listen to this young lady's story. A lot of times we feel like breast cancer is just a women or a female story, but it's not. Men can also get breast cancer. So come back tomorrow night at 7:00 p.m. Join me here on Facebook Live, Moments of Motivation with Michelle. And I cannot wait to see you. Again, Desarae and Quinton, thank you so much.
Thank
Y'all have
you.
a good night and go hug that baby.
Will do.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you
Thank you.
again.
Just don't wake him up.
Oh, he got to get up now because he got to go to bed on time.
God bless you guys.
Take
Bless you.
care.
Thank you.